Hi, good morning. We have 24 participants here. We should have 45, yeah? Should we wait for another, we wait for 5 more minutes, then we shall start, yeah? So, because based on the list given by Mr. Ali, we should have 45 participants to join this workshop. Yeah, Mr. Gerard. Morning, Sadina. You're keen also. Okay. So, Ali, should we start now or we should wait for 5 more minutes? Morning. Sama on hold, yeah? This Power BI training, yeah, this is actually a beginner. So we're going to share with you a basic functions offered by Power BI. Which I can see. Yeah. And then, okay, to wait there, okay. We just wait for, we're going to start at 9, 5 minutes, I think. Yeah, so, yeah. Okay, no problem. If cannot buka camera, so it's okay, yeah? It's not a mandatory lah to on the camera. But then it'd be good, yeah, if you can install Microsoft Power BI, then you can, yeah, then you can. How many use Power BI before? Have it installed. Or how many of you have it installed Power BI? Never. Not yet installed, huh? Okay. So if you have not installed, it's okay. I think you can just watch, then when you can install later, and then you can follow the instructions later lah, because anyway this meeting will be recorded. Yeah, the meeting is recorded. Yeah, so we're going to share the recorded video. I think I'm going to pass to Ali, and then Ali can share to all the participants the recorded video. No license. ISD can install. ISD can help to install the desktop version. But the desktop version, yeah, Sujata, there's a difference because Excels, they have their own applications. Power BI, they have their own software. Yeah, license are not required. But then if you go to ISD, they can help to install. Okay, dah nampak kan butang merah, alright. Belum, we haven't started. Tak. Dah nampak butang merah recording tu? Oh, started. Yeah. Good. 1 more minute lah, we're going to start. I will start first, then I pass to Sujata for the hands-on. Any questions? So, okay. All right. So no issues, can, no worries. If you have yet installed Power BI, you can just watch the recording. No, you just can watch the sessions. Then when Adi shared the videos, then you can just practice. Yeah. All right, I think we're going to start now. Okay, my name is Siti Fazilah. My name is Siti Fazilah. My friend here, Sujata Navaratnam. She's going to be the instructor, yeah, on Microsoft Power BI. So we are from ICCM, from Schools of Computing. Okay, let us start. Let me just give you a brief introductions of what is Power BI. Okay. So as we know, some of you might have heard it, some of you might not have. Okay. Power BI is like similar to Excel, but it's a different application, different software. So this is our short agenda. Okay. Actually, we start at 9:10. I try to finish mine at 9:20. Then we're going to have a short break for 5 minutes. Yeah. Then we come back at 9:25. Yeah. To proceed with Power BI hands-on. And then we have another break at 10:30, a short break for 15 minutes. Then at 10:45, we come back to the hands-on class. So if you have any questions to ask, please feel free to type in the meeting chat. All right. So the first sections, I'm going to just provide a very clear, short explanations on Power BI. So Power BI is actually one of the data visualization tools to make your informations meaningful without having so much information into the dashboard. Yeah. So it allows you to interact with a dashboard. And also, apart from interactive display on the dashboard, it will also provide you to generate a reports in a meaningful way as well. And it enable user to explore data insight in a visually engaging manner. So this is basically the what do you call it? The beautifuls of Power BI. Yeah. So the information will be displayed visually engaging and effective and efficient. So you can see the data is very appealing for the user to look at. Number two, it's actually an integrations with Microsoft technology. So it integrates with Microsoft Query Engine, data modeling, and visualization technologies that make it more comprehensive solutions for data analysis within the Microsoft ecosystems. Yeah. And the third component, the third element of Power BI, Power BI is a very, very user-friendly interface. So with this user-friendly interface, Power BI will allow user, which is us, to gather, transform, and visualize data without extensive technical expertise. So anyone should be able to use Power BI, and empowering individuals across various roles to harness the power of data. So it's a very, very user-friendly interface, so you don't have to be worried on how to use it. So what are the components of Power BI? They have mainly few components. The first components of Power BI Desktop, this is a free applications, for PC enables user to gather, transform, and visualize data, and then to make an essential tools for data analysts, and business professionals and educators, fostering a culture of data-driven decision making at the desktops level. So for those who do not have your data, you can go to ISD and ask them to install. And Power BI service, they provide a cloud-based service which allow user to collaborate, share, and distribute data across the organizations. So with this, it foster a data-driven culture by enabling seamless collaborations and also accessibility among the members. So you can share your data. And the third components of Power BI also, they have a Power BI mobile. So with these mobile apps, we as a user can also access report and dashboard on the go, ensuring data accessibility anytime, anywhere, and also empowering user to stay connected with insight on the move. Okay, so these are the components of Power BI. So how Power BI can be implemented? Yeah, how can Power BI complement our business? First, it will provide a quick decision making. Number two, it provides real-time information analysis. They provide very, very personalized dashboard. So this is the visualizations component, yeah, that you can see later. And then the beauty part of Power BI, no technical assistance needed. Anyone could learn, could use Power BI easily, seamlessly. And then it will keep your information secure, very easy to use. It's a smart solutions, and also it could offer constant upgrade as well, yeah. So when we look at the benefit of Power BI, first is actually on data integrations. How this data integrations works, yeah, it integrates data from various sources and providing a unified view for comprehensive analysis and decision making. So these are the keyword of Power BI. It provides comprehensive analysis and make a better decision making for user to look at, ensuring a holistic view of organizational data. This is the first one, the first benefit of Power BI. The second main benefit of Power BI is interactive dashboard. So this is quite appealing, yeah, if you look at the dashboard. So this particular interactive dashboard means, yeah, the tools, the Power BI tools enables the creations of interactive and visually appealing dashboards, enhance data comprehensions and insight, fostering and engaging and insightful data explorations experience. So when you look at the dashboards, yeah, because dashboards interactive, so you can choose colors, you can set, there's a few settings that you can do under the interactive dashboard. So it's not boring, yeah. And it's also cost-effective solution, means that this is a low-cost programs. Power BI cover the entire business intelligence change from data wrangling to visualizations to share and automations to ensure a cost-effective approach to comprehensive data analysis. So these are getting started with Power BI as a training resources. Yeah. Number two, you can use for community supports, and also you can use it for real world applications. So the Power BI features and capabilities, yeah. Number one, as we mentioned about data analytics and visualizations, yeah. So it's have a rich data analytics because Power BI offer a rich data analytics capability which allow us to derive a meaningful insight and trend from the complex data set. Yeah, this is number one. Number two, from the rich data set that you have here, it could translate it into an interactive visualizations in the forms of chart, graph, and maps. Yeah, so then it will, with this element, yeah, it will provide a customizations and personalizations for user when they want to look at the reports by looking at the dashboard. Yeah, so it able to suit a specific business requirement and preference by the user who are using the Power BI. So these are basically how Power BI work. Yeah, it's used as a connectors and integrations. Yeah, and then it could transform your data to make a specific analytical requirement, and it's a very real-time data streaming, and it provides you up-to-date data explorations experience. So those are the advanced analytics and AI that what they call it, Power BI provide. They provide with predictive analytics, machine learning integration, and also NLP. Yeah, so those are the advanced AI within the Power BI. And these are the collaboration and sharings provided by Power BI. They provide with the collaborative workspaces. You can with your friends, with your colleague, sharing and distributes among the stakeholders, and also embedding and also integrations. This is referring to the Power BI reports and also a dashboards. Yeah. So I'm going to just go through with you the real world applications and case studies. Just a quick view. So you can use Power BI in business intelligence in actions. First, in retail analytics, you want to explore customers' behavior. Financial reporting, yeah, if you want to look into monitor key performance indicators. Healthcare insight, if you want to learn about the applications of Power BI in healthcare analytics, if you look into patients' data visualizations and so on. And even also you can use for under education, so you can use, yeah, many things you can do under educations also. Then this is some of the case studies and success stories, yeah, for delve into case studies of global corporations leveraging Power BI for data-driven to make decision making, yeah. And then for startup and SMEs, for public sector utilizations, yeah. So Power BI best practices, number one, for data governance and security, yeah, because it will basically, it provide and emphasize on the importance of data integrities and securities in Power BI implementations. It's a very secure. Performance optimizations, yeah, you can explore strategies on how to optimize your report performance, on how to refresh your data schedules, yeah, on how to look at the overall system's efficiency, yeah. And then it also can be used under user adoptions and trainings. So future trends and innovations for Power BI. As I told you, it uses AI and machine learning integrations for advanced analytics and predictive capabilities. And it also have IoT, Internet of Things, yeah, IoT, and big data integrations. Also, yeah, you do have augmented analytics. Augmented analytics is basically emergence of augmented analytics within the Power BI. So with this, yeah, it will empower user with automated insight and actionable recommendations, showcasing the future potentials of Power BI in an augmented analytics. Okay, that's all, yeah. This is the brief explanations, sharing of what is Power BI all about. So if you have any questions, can just type in the meeting chat. We give you 5 minutes break here. Now is 9:17 plus 5, 9:22. I see you back, yeah. Thank you. No,
Hi, good morning, everyone. So I'm going to be taking you through the hands-on section of Power BI. So what you see in front of you now is the interface that you'll get when you open your Power BI. And we will in this session we'll be working with this whatever you see in front of you right now. So what we have here is the filters, visualization, as well as the data. And we will mainly be working with data and visualization in this particular session. Apart from that, you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, you have report view, table view, model view, as well as DAX query view. So DAX is actually one of the main functionalities or one of the main features of Power BI, where DAX actually stands for data analysis expressions. And this is where you'll type in a lot of the formulas that we'll be using in this session. Okay, so what we are going to do first is I've actually emailed some files to everyone that registered for this session. That email contains a link to a Google Drive which has 4 files, 4 CSV files that we'll be using for this class. So you can download those files and save it on your own machines, and we will then import those files into Power BI. So the first thing we're going to do is import those files. But before that, I want to give you the scenario that we're working with. So the scenario that we're working with here is we have a coffee shop. And this particular coffee shop has multiple shops around the world and in different locations. And the transactional data in these files that I've sent to you, the 4 files, and these files contain transactional data from 2016 to 2019. So I have a folder created on my machine, and I've stored these files in my machine. So I will be importing or getting those files from my computer. So if you're following along, you can basically save it in any folder you want, and later on just get it from those folders. So so the files in in the CSV files, we have consistent naming conventions for all 4 files, which is for the sales and the year. Yeah, so this is basically some random fictional data that we're working with. Okay, so um, in order for us to import the data, we have to go to get data. If you look at your home screen, you will see the get data. And when you click on that, you see there are many different sources that we can work with. You have Excel, Power BI, data flows, Dataverse, and so on. There's quite a lot listed here. So basically with Power BI, you can use many different sources for you to do your analytics or your analysis with it. So for today's session, we are using CSV files. And okay, sorry, there's a question here. We'll be using all 4 files. We'll be exporting all 4 files right now. So how we do that is you go to the More. Here under the Get Data tab, select More. And you will have a list of options given here. and we will select folder because your file, because we are going to be importing 4 files which are saved in a folder. So we select folder. As you can see here, there are many different formats that you can use. And in our case, we are selecting folder. Okay, so select folder. And what you need to do now is browse for the folder in which your files are stored in. Yeah. Just browse for mine. Okay, so I've actually stored my files in a sales folder. Okay, so all 4 files are in this folder. So I click OK, I select that folder and I click OK. Then I click OK here. Okay, so now what you see here is all the files. You'll get a pop-up screen that shows all the files. I think you may not see it. Let me just share my desktop, yeah? Yeah, okay, so now you should be able to see the pop-ups that appear. Okay, so you'll see all the 4 files that we have here. Now, what we plan to do is we want to combine all these 4 files into one. And here we have about, in total, we have quite a large amount of data here. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine it. And how we do this is by clicking the transform button that you have here on the screen. Excuse me. So you have the transform button here. So click on that. Okay, so now what you have here is your sales information, and we've clicked on transform. And we have the 4 files that we have selected. And what you see on top here is actually the data type of each specific file that we have. So one thing you need to notice here is we have this double arrow here. So this double arrow here will be used to basically transform or combine all the files that we have. Okay, so under content, you see these two buttons here. Okay, so I'm going to click on it. Okay, so now what's happening here is now we will get a window that is first giving us an insight on the files that we have. Okay, so this is now what we're going to do is we're going to click OK here since we have the correct information that's displayed in front of us. Okay, so it may take slightly long, I mean a bit longer to combine the files. Okay, so what you see here is the first column has the name of the file. Then we have the order ID, we have the date of transaction, the product, as well as country code and amount. Okay, so those are the names of the columns. Now, the first column that we see here, the source name, this is sometimes, it may not be very useful in this case. So what we're going to do is we are going to remove it. Yeah, we don't need this column. So you can just right mouse click and select remove. Yeah, so that removes that column. Okay, so now if you look on the right side of the screen, on this side, yeah, you'll see every action or everything that you're doing is basically being listed here. So now I just removed a column. So that step is also being listed here. Yeah, so everything you do, all the things, all the steps that you're taking will actually be listed on this side. Yeah, applied steps. Okay. Then on this side, we have the queries pane. Okay, but we're not going to work with that at the moment. Okay, so we have our sales here. This is what we have imported. Now, what we want to do is we want to separate the some of the information that we have here. For example, we want to separate the product name and the location of the shop. Yeah, so if you look at the product column here, chicken fajitas wrap. Within the brackets, we have Postdom, yogurt, Odense, Stuttgart, green tea Stuttgart, and so on. So what we want to do is we want to separate the product column from the location, or the product name from the location. Okay, so what you do is we select the column. And on the top here, you will see the split column. Okay, you see split column. So I'll click on that. And select delimiter. So the delimiter here is going to be the bracket. Yeah, so we leave it as that. And we will select each occurrence of the delimiter. Here it's selected, but we change it to rightmost delimiter. Okay. Under advanced, we will not be selecting anything. Yes, so we click OK. Okay, now you see there's actually a split between the two columns. Okay, so now we go back to this column here, product 2, because there's an extra bracket at the end, and we select replace values. Okay, now value to find here, we select the close bracket, and I click OK. Because I replace it with a blank space, yeah, so that's why the bottom, I leave it as, I don't put any value there. Okay, so this removes the bracket at the end of every location. So now what we've successfully done is you split the two, where now in product 1, you have the only the product name, and in product 2, you have the location. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the name of this column. So by double clicking on that particular header, we change this to product. And we change this to location. Okay, so as you can see here, the 1, 2, 3 represents the data type. So for order ID, it is a number. For date, it is in the date format. For product, is a text value. And for location, text, country code, text. And the final one is amount, which is decimal. Yeah, so if you want to change it, you can basically go here and you can change the decimal. Okay, so here I want to change this to fixed decimal for amount. Okay, so it will have 2 decimal places fixed. Okay, so you can see here all the changes we've made. It's been listed here under the applied steps. Okay, now here under the name property, I'm going to change this to sales prep. Because later on I'll be making some changes to this when we work on the query. Okay. Okay, so that is done for this. We are going to close this and apply on the top here, on the top left, you'll see close and apply. Then click on close and apply. Okay, you can see here now, whatever changes are being loaded. It's taking a bit of time because the data set that we're using is quite large. It's in the millions, yeah. So it'll take a bit of time. Just a bit, slightly over 1 million data. Okay, so let's do a quick visualization of what we just did. So here we're going to use the visualization tab that you see on the right. And under that, you can select card. Okay, this one. And what you do is you just click on it. And that would give you this, this box that appears on your card. Okay, so I'm going to expand this, my sales prep. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my order ID. Okay, you see below the visualization, you have add data fields here. under visualization, under fields, you have add data fields here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this order ID into here. Okay, so now what you see is you get a value that showed here. So what you've actually done is you're showing or you're displaying the amount of rows of data that you've actually loaded from the 4 CSV files that we had earlier combined. So this is the total of those files. Yeah, so if we've loaded 1.2 million rows of data from those 4 CSV files that we've combined. Okay, so this is the first example of a simple visualization that you can do with Power BI. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, I think I need to upload one more file for all of you to download. Yeah, so I'll just put that into the Google link. Yeah, just give me a minute while I do that. So sorry about that. Okay, so I've just uploaded a country's file, Excel file. So you can download that and save that because you're going to be importing that in a few minutes. Okay, so I hope you've all managed to download it. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to go to Excel workbook on the top of my home ribbon here. We have the word Excel workbook. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to find the location in which the country's Excel file is you've downloaded it to and select that particular file. Okay, so go to Excel under, let me just, under the Excel workbook, select countries. Okay, so then what you'll get is the countries worksheet that I've actually just selected. And I'm going to select sheet 1. Oh, sorry, country. Yeah, so then now you'll see all the countries that are listed there and the country code for those countries. So earlier, we only had the country code. We didn't have the countries listed. So now we are importing an Excel file that contains the listing of the country code together with the country. So it's going to be sort of like a reference table. Sheet 2 has the same information, yeah, but we're selecting sheet 1. Sorry, the country sheet. Okay, then what we do is we click on transform data. Okay, so now you see here, you have an additional query listed there, country. Yeah, so this is apart from sales prep, we have country. And here under the property name on the right, I'm just going to change it to uppercase C. Okay, and you can see both columns here, we have two text data types. Yeah, so it's correctly imported. Sorry, I think we have some questions, right?
So this about the installations.
Okay. Okay, so there's another file that we want to if you want to connect other data sources to this particular report that you're working with, we can do that as well. I want to add one more file here, which is my text file, which I will upload in a while. Yeah. Okay, so there's another file called products. This file contains the product's name. So I'm going to put that in as well. Okay, so this is a text file that contains both the product as well as the category. Yeah, so we see that you have also an ID listed there. Okay, so just click OK here. Okay, so now you see you have under your queries, you have another item there, which is products. And I will just go to the properties here again and change the name to products. Okay, so now we have a product ID, product and category for this particular source of our data. And if you look at the top here, we know where the file is actually located or where we're getting the information from. If you click on source, you can see the location. So you know where to go whenever you need it. if you click on the that button on the side, you'll get this information here that shows the path, what kind of file it is, the file origin, and so on. Okay. Okay, then if you look at going back to the information we have here, we don't have the appropriate names for this. But if you click on this, the last item here, you see that the names are actually correctly represented. Yeah, but when you go to the source, okay, just one. Yeah, I haven't uploaded the source file. Okay, let me just stop for a while. Yeah. Okay, so I hope you guys have downloaded that file. Okay, so what we can do now is go back to the. We can close this. Close and apply. Oh, sorry. Reset it. Okay. Okay, so we just click on close and apply. Okay, then you come back to this screen. Okay, so what we're going to see is maybe now the country. We may want to use the table, this function here in the visualization. Okay, one thing you need to remember is whenever you're making any any changes to the document, please ensure that you're not clicked on you've not selected any of the items that you have under your visualization section. So what happens is, like, for example, now if I want to put in a table and I click on it, it overrides whatever I have on my screen. So just make sure you're not nothing is highlighted or nothing is selected at that moment when you select a different type of visualization to put in. Okay, so now I have this. Maybe I want to look at the countries. So I just drag that and I put that in. So we know that it's been imported correctly. Yeah, so I don't really need this there. I just wanted to use it to check. So I'm just going to remove it now. Okay, so we can see here we have all the values that have been imported correctly. What I want to do now is I want to refresh all the queries that we worked with earlier. So on the top here, you can see that there's a refresh button. Okay, so select that particular button. Now you see okay. Now you see when it's being refreshed, this may take a few minutes. Okay, so you shouldn't have any issues, yeah. With the importing or refreshing or whatever queries you've done, there shouldn't be any problems with any of the queries in terms of the location or the states, because you've been taking it from wherever the source is being saved in your machine. Now, in the case where sometimes you move the file from one location to a different location, and then you try to refresh, you may get an error that says there's something being blocked. This is because there's a change in the location. So you need to go back to the source and update the location in which your new file is located. Yeah, so in our case, there's no issue because all our files are in the correct source. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to go back to some of my queries. Okay, so how you do that is you go to the transform data on top here, click on that. Then this will take you to this page again. And under country, this sales prep, let's just click this sales prep and refresh all. Refresh for country and refresh for. Okay, so there's no issues here. Sometimes you may get an error, and if you do get the error, it's normally this a source related error. So the file is actually located in a different location. This happens like when you're working on the file and maybe there's a new version of the file, or you've actually moved the file to another location, then you may get an error here when you do the refresh. Okay, so in our case, there's no issue with this. So we've checked it in both locations. Okay, so let's move to the next step. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to normalize our model here. So on the Power BI tab, we want to click on the transform data. Okay, so transform data. Let's close this again. Okay, so it's there earlier. I'm just refreshing and coming back in. Okay, so now we can see that all the queries we have here. And the sales prep is our transactional table, or otherwise known as the facts for the data table. So this is one of the largest queries that we have here because it has slightly over 1 million data. So we want as much as possible to keep the tables as light as possible or as skinny as possible. So now we're going to make some changes to this table. And we may try to remove or edit some pieces of information. So what we can see here in this table are the country code column, and it's not something that we actually need in this particular table. Why don't we need it is because we have a location and we can actually find the country through that location in that particular component. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to link this to basically a reference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on sales prep and I'm going to click on reference. Okay, so now you see here, you get another table over here, sales prep 2, and I'm going to rename this to location. Okay, so now if you go back here, you'll see that this table is actually a reference to sales prep. Yeah, so the data we want about location can be referenced through this particular table, through this location and country code. So what we're going to do is we are going to remove 2 columns, or we're going to remove the other columns that we don't need here and just retain the location of the 2 columns that we want, which is the location and country code. We don't need the others. Okay, so you can, the 2 ways to do this, either you delete everything else apart from location or country, or you can select location and you can select country and select remove other columns apart from the location and the country. Okay, so when I remove other columns, because of selected location and country, only location and country remain in the table. Okay, now another thing we may notice is there's a lot of redundant information in this table. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the duplicates from this table. So how we do that is I go to the remove rows and I select remove duplicates. Okay, then what I want to do next is I want to sort this out. So I want to sort it in ascending order. So I select the country code column, it's still selected, and I go up here and select sort ascending. Okay, another good practice is to have an index identifier every time we have a table. So we want to add that into this particular table also. So we're going to add in a column. So on top here, we have the add column tab. Yeah. After home, here file, home, transform, add column, select add column. Yeah. Select add column. And we are going to select index column. And we're going to get it to start from 1. Select start from 1. Okay. So you have your index column here now. You see your index column. So we can move it to the front of the table by just dragging it and dropping it there, and rename this to location ID. Okay. Okay, so that's for our table here now. So now we have our location table here. Okay, so let's close and apply this. Go back to home, click close and apply. Okay, you can see your location is being updated, and you will see it appear now here under your data. Okay. Right. So now let's go back to transform data again. So we already have our location here. Let's go back to transform data. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the merge queries, which is one of the most useful features under Power BI. So you can see it here on top on the right hand side, merge queries. We're going to click on that and select merge queries. It's new. So what we want to do now is we want a new query, which will be about our sales query. Okay, so we have a sales prep table, and in here, I want to select location. Okay, so we have the location here, and you see the country code is also referenced here. So we want to bring the location ID from here into the sales prep. Yeah, so we can remove the location column and the country column because we have the reference data table. So the first step is we're going to select the location column here and here, like this. Yeah, so select the location column. Okay, so now at the bottom here, you see it's estimating matches. So the matches here is, you can see the amount are both the same from both tables. Yeah. Okay, so then we click OK. Oh, just so you have the location table here now. If you column here now, and if you click on this, you will get the reference information here. So what we're going to remove is we're going to remove location and country code. Then click OK. Okay, so you have now the location ID for the countries. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to remove these two columns here. Before I remove the columns, what I want to do is I think I want to move this to the front next to my product column. Yes, then I'll remove these two. Okay, so this will help keep your tables as slim or as small as possible, yeah, without much information in one table. So because you're using the referencing. Okay, so now another thing that we can merge, another thing we want to merge is the products with the product column in our in this table. So what we can do again is do the same thing, create a new merge, select merge queries. And select products. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select product and this product over here. Okay, so it's estimating the matches again. It's still under merge one, yeah? So it's still waiting for the estimations. Wait, getting 0 matches here. Okay, it should be, something's not right, yeah? There should be the same amount as we saw earlier. Let me just cancel this because the matches here are 0. Let me just cancel this. Okay, just hold on while you estimate. So still giving 0 matches. Excuse me. Just hold on, yeah. So we are just going to change the existing query instead of creating a new one. So I click on that. Then I select here, we're just waiting for the estimation to take place. Yeah. Okay, let me just close it and try it again. Yeah. Okay, so I merged it as a new query. So I'm using actually merge two now. I'm not sure if all of those of you following were able to get the estimation earlier. Mine had some issue with the it wasn't getting the exact match. Yeah, so I had to do it once again using a new query. So now I actually have it there, but the problem is this is not what I actually want. So let me just go back to the first, because I want the information of the table for the product to be displayed here, because this will eventually be our sales table. Yeah, so maybe I think we can have the break early while I try to fix this problem, and then we'll reconvene back at 10:40, 10:45. Yeah. So sorry, we'll have a break early now, and then reconvene again. Okay, hi everyone. I wasn't able to fix the problem, but I'm going to just continue with the steps using my file that I actually tested all of these steps with. So this is my own version, not the earlier version that I was working with. So I'll just continue with this version, and when I find out what the issue is in merging the two tables, I'll let you know, but at the moment I wasn't able to fix it. So what we are trying to do with uh, right now is actually we're trying to make our table as skinny as possible, meaning that we don't have much data, but instead we have referencing tables, and we refer to those referencing tables through the IDs of those tables in one table. So in this case, we're using the sales table to reference all those other informations from the product table as well as the location ID. Okay, so in our merge one that we left off before the break, you can see now that the merging actually happened here, where we have the order ID, which was already originally available in the table. And then we included location ID, and of course, the one with the issue was the product ID. So those have been merged together into one table. So now earlier we had the sales prep which had everything in it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to rename this table to sales. So this is going to be our main table right now. Yes, so another thing that we want to do is, because this particular table, we don't need it to be loaded every time we go into our main screen. So we want to disable its load. So we don't waste time since we're not going to be using this table anymore, because we already have our sales here, which is the table that was merged with information from the product and location. So this table is no longer required. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to disable it. So every time we load into our main section, we don't have to load this table or any unused table. So how you do that is just you just right mouse click on the table and uncheck enable load. And when you uncheck this, you'll notice that it becomes italic. Yeah, so it becomes italic, which means that the table now will not be loaded. It's going to be disabled from loading when we go back to the Power BI screen. Yeah, so I'm just going to close this and apply. Okay, so this will just. I'll just leave this here for now. Later, I'll disable, remove it. Okay, so now what we're going to do next is we're going to see the relationships between the table. In certain cases, if the function or the feature has been disabled, you can go to your file options. Under options, under preview features, there'll be a feature that allows you to disable the function that allows for the data to be linked. Yeah, so somewhere here, that the relationships don't automatically it won't automatically be generated by Power BI, but you can generate it yourself. So it's by default, it's actually enabled in most of the Power BI functions. It's normally here, which it shows automatically fixed relationships between the different tables. Okay, so if you don't want that to be done automatically, you can uncheck that feature here. Yeah. Okay, so in our case, it's set to automatic. So when you go to this table over here, you can see that all the tables have been linked together through the relationships. Yeah, the cardinalities are also listed here, whether it's one to many or mostly one to many, yeah, relationship. Okay, so let's go back to the visualization section here again. Okay, so we want to put in some, this is sort of like our dashboard for Power BI. So here is where you can actually present the information you want, and you can go further on to change the colors and change the font style if you want to. We'll do a bit of that later on. So now let's try to put in some information on some products that we have here. Yeah, so we will use the table function to do that. So in the visualization section, you click on table. Click on table. Okay, that will bring the table to the screen. So you can basically drag and drop whatever you want and place it onto or move it around wherever you want to. So here you see when you have the table, again, you can drag and drop from the data section, any particular information that you want, and that goes into your table. So here, what we want to look at is more of the products. Okay, so under products, I'm going to expand the products table, and I'm going to select category under the column name. So you see now you have here all the categories of food that we have. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to sales and select amount. Okay. If you have amount under your sales, you can drag that and put that in. Since I've already made some changes here, so I don't really have my amount. Maybe I'll just put total. Yes, the total revenue. Okay, so now it's actually displaying by category the total revenue for those specific items. Yeah, beverages, food, and pastries. But if you have your amount there, you can drag that and put that in as well. Okay, so let's now let's move on to another step now. So maybe we want to add another sort of visualization to the date table, because the date table sometimes is, or we want to create a date table that has information pertaining the date itself in a certain format, because later we will use the date function to filter out some of the information we need to be represented in our report. Like, for example, if you want to calculate how much sales are made in over the weekend compared to over the weekdays, then this is where the date function would be very important for us to use. Okay, so how we do that is you can go to we're going to create a new table to basically put in this information. So we go to this section over here, which is the table function, the table view. And we're going to create a new table. Can you see the new table function over here? Okay, so then you'll get this table equals to appears. Okay, so here we're going to reference the information from the sales table. Yeah. This our table will actually require dates from 2016 to 2029. But what if like we need to have to extend that further? Yeah, so we will need to have a table that's more dynamic. So I'm going to just call this dates. Yeah, I'll just put 2 there because I already have a dates table there. Okay, so then you'll get this drop down. Okay, we select. Okay, if you look at this, you may get a tooltip that says what this table actually returns. So this will return a new column. And this is something that works along with the DAX function that we also have in Power BI. So the DAX is actually the data analytics expression. Okay, so here we are actually going to put in calendar. Yeah, instead of add column, we're going to select calendar. Okay. So here we need to put in the start date. Yeah, the start date as well as the end date. Okay, so we just put in date followed by year. And this will be next we'll have the starting as in the year. So this will be based on the sales date. Okay, so these are all the items we have in our sales table. So I'm going to select sales date, the sales date column from the sales table. Okay, then we close off the main function. Okay, so this is the starting date. Okay, now Okay, so this is the case, the starting date for the information at table. So it will be 1st January if that date exists. Next, the maximum amount of date that we're going to use. From our sales date. Okay, so this is going to be at December, the last date 31st December, and I close this off. Sorry, messed up the brackets here. Okay, so this now has created the table of dates for us, where the date will start from, we created the table using the data from the sales table. So this table will basically represent the earliest date from 2016, which is anything that starts from 1st of January and so on, and the maximum date that ends December 31st. Okay, so this information was extracted from the sales table. Okay, so we have 1,461 rows of dates here that has been extracted. Okay, then what I want to do is I want to go to this columns tool here. And we want to select the column and we want to specify the date and type here. So here, the data type here is going to be, we only want the date. We don't need the time, yeah? So select date. Okay, we can also choose the format that we want. I think we'll go with this one. Okay. So this, now we've actually created an additional table, and this table is storing the date, and the information was extracted from the sales table. Okay, you can also choose, if you're not happy with this sort of date, you can choose another format that you are more comfortable with. But later on, when we do the queries and all, you have to remember that which format you use. Yeah, I think I'll just go with the 222. Okay, so then this is done for the table. We go back to we can go back to the dashboard. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to now create some DAX formulas to do some sort of calculation. Yes, so here there are two main DAX kind of formulas that we can calculate, and this will mainly be similar to what we use in Excel. Here, similar kind of format. Before we do that, I still need to add some things first here. Let me just edit the dates table again. Okay. I want to basically add in back to the dates table. Yeah, I want to add in a column. Okay, where I'm going to put in the year. Your table may still be dates. Yeah, I created dates too because I have already a existing table called dates. Okay, then we're also going to put in one more for month. Okay, we're also going to create one for month name. Based on the date again. So this, if you put 4 M's, it returns the month in full. If you put 3 M's, then it returns the month, the shorter version of the month. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'll leave it as that. Then we want the day as well. It should be just day. We don't need the calendar for this. Dates. And then we also want to know whether it is a weekday. Okay, so we put it as weekday number. So you can choose here the options in which you want the return type, whether it's one for Sunday and so it's Sunday to Saturday, 1 to 7, or you want it as one for Monday and so on. So I'm selecting one for Monday. So select option 2, option 2, which identifies or returns 1 for Monday and 7 for Sunday. Okay, then we want the weekday name. It's similar to the way we did the month. Okay, one more column. Now we're going to check and see whether it's a weekend or not. So is weekend, use the if function, if weekday number is greater than 5. If weekday number is greater than 5, yes, no. Okay, so if it's greater than 5, then it will return yes. If it's lesser than that, then it will return no. So 6 and 7 are Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, so this is important for if later you want to calculate your revenue to see how much you made, excuse me, how much you made over the weekend compared to a weekday. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to do some sorting. Okay, so let's just go back to the visual section for a while. Okay, I'm going to put in a table. Let's just put in the month name. Oh, sorry. Yeah, month name. Okay, so now you see the months are not in the proper order. It's April, August, and so on. So it's not from January to February. So we want to sort this out, yeah, to list the months according to the order. Okay, even if you look at the weekday name, it's not sorted out, yeah. It's Friday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Okay, let's go back to the data view to solve this problem. So under the month name, we go to the column tools and we select sort by column, sort by month number. Then under the weekday name, select weekday name, and again, sort by column, select weekday number. Okay, so this will assist in solving the sorting problem, yeah? So if you go back to the visualization now, you can see for the weekdays, now it's sorted out based on Monday to Sunday. I remove this and I put in the months. It's now sorted from January to December. Okay, so now we're going to go into some DAX formulas. So the DAX formulas are the data analysis expressions that we can use. Okay, so if you are familiar with Excel formulas, it's sort of similar to that. but the way we use it is slightly different. I mean, here you just have to drag and drop it once you've actually created the formulas, yeah. Okay, so let's go to the data view now and look at the sales table. Okay, so data view under sales. Okay, so the formula that we're going to do is, it has to do with the what we have here. Yeah, so we're going to create some of the revenue calculations that we have under sales. Whether it's a weekend or non-weekend and so on. So in order to do that, we need to use the function new measure, which is available here under the home button. So if you look at the right side, you can see the word new measure. Okay, so you click on that. Okay, then you'll see something that looks like this. Okay, so now you see here, you have the measure, but mine is showing country, yeah, so it should be under the sales. Yeah, so I'm just changing it to sales. Okay, so this is the formula bar where we'll be typing all the formulas. So you just have to ensure that it is from the sales table. And now we're going to type in the revenues, yeah. So total revenue. I'm going to start off with the first one, total revenue. I'm just going to call it total rev. Equal to sum. And the total revenue will be the total of our sales amount. So select sales amount from the sales table. Okay, then you can press enter, close bracket, press enter. Okay, you can also do some formatting here in terms of the currency. And we want we don't want the comma, we want the type of denominator, what sort of currency it's representing. You can just select it from this list. I think mine is already selected to Malaysian ringgit, so I'm just going to leave it as that. And then the decimal places, instead of auto, we leave it at 2. Yeah. So then you can see that this particular value, this particular formula now appears under your sales. Yeah. So you can choose if you want it to appear for some other table, you can select it from this drop down, or if the wrong table is being selected, then you can just change it here. Okay, so the total revenue is what I actually put here, but let me just go back to this table. Okay, and change this to total ref, which is what I just created. Okay, if you want to do that for this table over here by month, you can also drag that in. Okay, so you have the total revenue by months as well. You can expand the table. Wait, this. The total revenue should give you the same amount as this, yeah. The amount for these two should be the same. I'm not really sure why this is actually showing a different amount. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same for everyone. This, yeah, that's. Yeah, I'll come back to that in a while. Yeah, not really sure why it should be different for all the months. Yeah, the 12 months there should have a different amount, but the total should be this amount. I'm not really sure why the months are displaying it as such. Yeah, but every month should have a different amount, which totals up to this amount that you see down here. Okay, so let's just move on to a different formula first. I will need to check why this is actually giving out the same amounts for the months. Let's look at how we can count the different, or use the count function to get some sort of insights as well from the table. Like, for example, if you want to know how many orders, the total number of orders that we have based on the different months, we can actually do a count for that as well. So how we do that is, again, go to new measure. Okay, so make sure it's measure sales. And here we create maybe number of, or okay, so count, use count row. Sorry, this should be equal to, yeah. gross. And this will be based on sales. We enter. Okay, so number of orders, mine is without the S. Yeah, something wrong with my, I'm not sure if anyone is following along, if you all are getting the same values as well, but it shouldn't be the same. Yeah, it should be different for each month. Something wrong with my sales table. Okay. Then we want to also use the calculate function to do some sort of calculation. So here we will, again, under the sales table, we will create a new measure. Okay, so this will be total revenue weekend for weekend. Okay, total revenue for weekend. Use calculate. Okay. Okay, so we'll take total revenue. Now, this is total revenue for weekend. So here we need to put in the expression that states it's a weekend, the total revenue for the weekend. So it will be dates is weekend from the column we created earlier. And if this is equal to yes, so all the amounts that have the yes for under the column is weekend will be calculated and returned. Yeah. Okay, so this was total ref weekend. So this one. So you can, we can also create another table. Let's create, just to check the amounts that we have. Okay, so this is there. Let's try it by category. And total. Okay, this is the revenue for the weekend. Okay, so let's do one for not weekend, which means like weekday. So you can create a formula for that as well. I think that you can try it on your own. I mean, if you want, I'm going to do it as well, but you sort of should know how the formula works now at this point. So total rev, maybe call it weekday, or you can call it not weekend if you want. So use the calculate function for this as well. Okay, so this will use total rev. Okay, date is weekend, but in this case it is no. So then you can put in another table. total ref. Okay, so then you can also use cards to represent this information if you want, like this. You can just let me just delete this. Okay, so I just put in a card, this one. So this visualization, I just click on that. It came down here. Let me just drag it up. And here I want the data that is maybe this. Yes. Okay, so it looks like this. So you can change colors and all that for this. For this, if you want the visualization, if you have a certain theme that you're working with, you can actually play around with the colors that you want to use for your visualization. Yeah. Okay, let's do more formulas, a bit more formulas. So let's calculate the total revenue for the year before. Okay, so again, we will use the new measures. Here. Okay, so here, total net revenue for the previous year. Then you put in the total ref. So I think based on this, you'll see how important it is to have the date table, yeah, based on the previous ones. So here it's going to be slightly different. We're going to use same period last year. Same period last year. Okay, then we put in the dates that we want. Okay, I have this. Okay, so let's do maybe a table to show this. Okay, we already have this table here. Maybe we remove this and put in from our dates. We put in you. Should we count up here? Okay, so earlier if you saw, if we have the total order and total revenue, if we need to put in the year, by default it comes as the sum. Okay, so if you click on the arrow down, you can have the options of choosing either the count, average, variance, or so on. But since we don't want the value to be automatically summarized for us, you select don't summarize. Yeah, so then you get the values by year. But of course, like I said, there's something wrong with sales values because it keeps showing the same values for everything. Yeah, I'm not sure if those that are following along, if you're getting different values or the same as what I have. Okay, so let's do one more formula, which is the difference. Yeah, the difference. Okay, so this is from sales again. So new measure. So total rev year okay. So this will be total revenue. The bracket shouldn't be like that. Okay. Minus total rev, maybe for the previous year, yeah? Okay, so this we can enter with this. Okay, so that's added. If you want to create another measure to maybe get the percentage of difference. Okay, so divide, use the divide function for this. Total revenue with revenue from previous year. Sorry, total revenue difference divided by total revenue previous year. Okay. So we can actually do a table that shows year total revenue. Let's try doing that. Let me just remove all of this. We have our year. Total revenue. Total revenue previous year. Still showing all the same values. Total year difference. And maybe the percentage of year difference. It's all showing the same values because there's some issue with the sales table, but it should show different values here. Okay, so formulas, this is how we can put it in. There are many different formulas you can use. I can send out later. I'll upload some practice exercises for you to try out in the Google folder if you want. So now maybe we want to add some visualization to it. So this is like the kind of visualizations you can have. If you want, you can also have things like the maps. If you want to use the map, you can use that to show the sales between the different countries. Or if you want to use a bar chart, you can also use a bar chart to also show certain information. Here at the bottom, you can see that you can actually create tabs here, similar to how you do it in Excel. You can put the different information in different sheets if you want to be presented. So here we have a bar chart that was actually created. So you can just drag and drop that particular chart that you want, and then just put in whatever data you want to be presented in that chart. We have the total revenue here, number of orders. Again, the chart representing that. You can also use a line chart. Yeah, line chart here. Here I put in the month name and the total revenue. Month name is in the x-axis, and the y-axis has the total revenue. If you want to use a map, you can use a map to represent the information as well. If you want total revenue, sorry. Okay, total revenue. Not this map again. Okay, so we put in the countries from the country.
Okay.
The country it's taking some time to load. So what you can do is basically, if you drop the country here, you get a map that shows the country like I had earlier. But for some reason, it's not showing now. But the under global, the map feature needs to be enabled, yeah, for you to do that. Then under here, you can also use, when you've actually selected your map, you can also put in your, for example, revenue under bubble size. You can put in your revenue. So the more the larger your revenue, the bigger the bubble will be to represent the revenue on your map. Map is not showing. Yeah, so this bubble function will actually create, which is a common, I think, practice when you're showing your maps and you want to know which countries are making money and which countries have higher sale compared to other countries. So you can use the bubble based on a certain value. In this case, maybe the total revenue to show that difference. Yes, so I think apart from this, most of you should be able to play around. Now you have the basic knowledge how to use so I think you can just play around with it, drag some different charts and just put in the data you want to get the result that you want. Yeah, so I'll be sharing the working files in the Google Drive. So you can take a look at it, take a look at the formulas and maybe then implement it or try it out on your own once you have installed Power BI. So for installation, what Siti and I did was we basically just went down to our IT department and got them to install it for us. We are using the desktop version, not the online version. So I think you guys can also try that desktop version, which I think it's quite easy to use. And Power BI is actually not something that's too difficult. I think once you've gained or you have the knowledge of how to you do the formulas, how to merge the files, especially, then you should be able to use it to generate your presentations, especially when it comes to presenting numbers, figures in a more creative and I think more visually appealing manner. Yeah. So if are there any questions? Because I think we're going to end a bit early since it's a Friday. Are there any questions? Oh, I think we would like to know how many out of you in this group. I don't know how, maybe how do we find out?
35.
Huh?
35.
No, how many have Power BI installed and how many don't have Power BI installed?
If you can just show hand,
How do you-
can just click red, just red.
how many have
Send
Power
a
BI
reaction.
installed?
If you may send a reactions if you had installed the Power BI already. We just want to see. Vanilla.
Okay, so maybe I don't know, maybe we can run another session then if
No, I think no worry because the recording.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, if you're on this at this campus, you can come and ask Siti or myself.
So for those who don't have, if you want to try Power BI, you may go down to ISD and get them installed for you. It's very
better-
fast only. Yeah.
Better to run in physical lab.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll take that into note.
But if you run it physical lab, it's going to be limited, yeah, numbers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll maybe if Ali is still here, maybe we'll inform him. Next round, physical.
Okay, we can decide on that later.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I guess no more questions. If there's anything, feel free to drop email to Miss Sujata.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Siti? Yeah, but we'll be uploading more materials on the Google link. That's the reason why we shared everything on a Google file. So we'll upload more things for you guys to see and some of the files that are haven't tried, you can just once you've installed it, you can just open those files and practice on your own. Yeah. Okay, so thank you everyone for attending the session. I hope you gain some sort of basic knowledge on how to use Power BI. Thank you very much. Siti, you have
Thank
anything?
Okay,
you.
thank you very much,
Thank you.
Ms.
Bye.
Sujata, for sharing the information. For others, thank you for joining. Have a happy weekend.
Yes,
Bye.
thank you. Bye-bye.
This is